Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas, and welcome to my new video. Today I will lay out a roadmap of 8 stages, tested and validated, to turn Instagram into a very stable traffic machine, thanks to which you will be able to make reels that are both unique and potentially viral at the same time. First of all, what is the goal of this training? Our main goal is to ensure a regular flow of targeted and high-quality subscribers to OnlyFans, so that you don't experience a yo-yo effect in your income. This will allow you to make forecasts and, as a consequence, scale the agency. The plan is as follows. First, we will launch and warm up 20 Instagram accounts. Then, we will produce 3 AI-generated reels per day on each account. And finally, we will industrialize the entire process without the risk of a shadow ban. We will be using a hybrid OFM model based on a real model, that is, an existing OnlyFans account, with her identity and assets, face, body, and so on. And in parallel, we will generate AI videos in order to release as many reels as possible in mass production. The idea is to combine a real model and the speed of execution thanks to artificial intelligence in order to stay on platforms with high conversion. There are 8 phases in the process: preparation, account creation, configuration, warm-up, activation, scaling, premium content, and optimization. Keep this path in mind because it helps you visualize the process and build links between the steps, and later, also automate it. At the start, it is important to do everything yourself, but it is even more important to be able to pass the tasks on. With proper automation, the agency will work perfectly, even without your constant involvement, with the help of virtual assistants or VAs. Let's start with the preparatory step. Before doing anything, gather all the resources. You need to prepare prompts for Kling. This is a new AI that generates videos and images from a prompt and a photo. For example, from a photo of the model, you can create an infinite number of videos, and therefore an infinite number of reels from a few original sources. The content must be SFW, safe for work, because Kling only supports SFW videos. This will allow you to make up to 3 reels a day without the model's participation, and you get freedom of action and full control without depending on the model. You will need selfies and other photos of the model to generate videos in Kling, and optionally, a KPI table so you can see the numbers: traffic, number of Instagram followers, impressions, reach by day and/or by video. Do not forget about a clear distribution of roles in the team. It is highly undesirable for one VA to do everything, otherwise you will depend on them. It is better to have about 4 VAs. One generates videos in Kling, the second warms up the Instagram accounts, the third publishes the videos, and the fourth is responsible for overall coordination. This way you have full control and less risk if you suddenly have to replace someone. Next, make a clear to-do list for your own process, and remember that it will be different for everyone. Form an approximate budget: where your VAs live, what your cash flow or income is, and whether you can outsource tasks. If you can't, then do it yourself. There will be more work and less sleep, but it's possible. Next, we move on to the first step: creating or buying accounts. Our goal is to start with 10 to 20 working accounts. Connect them specifically on a phone and not on a computer. Instagram sees that the login is from a phone and considers the user real. If you create and log in from a PC, this will more often be treated as a red flag. You can create accounts yourself or buy ready-made ones. For self-creation, you can use Potasso on an iPhone with an IP Royal proxy. It is better to use an iPhone of the 8th generation. The method works, but the risk of a shadow ban is higher, so I do not recommend this option if you have a budget. If you decide to buy, Axia's Market is the best marketplace for Instagram accounts. Take aged accounts from the USA or from the target country if your target is not the USA. The price is usually $1 to $2 per account, but sometimes it's more expensive. You must log in via VPN. I use TunnelBear. I have a monthly subscription with a lot of traffic and, most importantly, a stable connection, so the VPN does not drop during the session, because this is critical. Plus, the IP addresses are not too burned. Instagram is less picky with aged accounts, but you still have to follow the rules. For the hardware part, you can take 5 phones and spread 3 to 4 accounts on each. Jailbreaking iPhones can of course be considered as an option, but it is a hassle and unstable. Optimally, have 3 to 4 iPhone 8s. They are cheap, and for the total budget, allocate about $200. If an account is banned or shadow banned, the phones are reused. Next comes the second step. Initial configuration covers days from 0 to the second. First, use a unique profile photo that you have not used before on other Instagram accounts. If you have already caught a shadow ban on previous accounts, under no circumstances repeat the old photos. The Instagram bio should be without links and redirects, because external links are a strong red flag at the start. Activity should be a maximum of 20 minutes, because a new real user does not sit there for hours. Next, verify the email and phone number and subscribe to 15 to 20 profiles from the same niche. This applies to both created and purchased accounts. That is, if your niche is Good Girl, subscribe to Good Girl. If it is Sexy Student, then to Sexy Student, and so on. It's all very simple. Type the model's niche into the Instagram search, scroll the feed a little, and like a few posts, 4 to 5 publications. Your goal is to make your actions as human as possible so that Instagram gives as many green flags as possible to your way of using it. And now I will quickly show you how to make infinite reels from a single photo in Kling. I think it's better to show this live than describe it in text, so there is less confusion. So you are already in the interface of the service. Create an account. I strongly recommend immediately getting a paid plan. There is a trial version, but the generation time is longer, and that will seriously slow down your process. Take the cheapest plan at the beginning just to test it. So we are in the interface. We go straight to video generation. We drag the media here. I upload the image from which I want to generate the video. I show the picture so you understand the source. It's a simple photo, but this is a typical amateur photo, the kind an ordinary model would take. From such a photo, we can generate the maximum number of video options. The only point is that Kling prohibits the use of photos with bare legs or photos where too much skin is visible on the legs. Next, we have the prompt field. Write what kind of video you want to get. We turn off sound effects. With them, the render takes longer, and we will add music separately anyway. Below is the negative prompt. The prompt gives 99% of the result, in combination with the source. If you overload it with details, the AI gets confused. If you make it too general, the model will take unnecessary liberties, and the result will be inconsistent. I have ready-made prompts. I posted them on my Telegram channel in the description. The negative prompts are there as well, in particular for working with a mirror. We ask it to avoid bad hands, extra fingers, deformations, and so on. Next, we choose the Professional VIP preset. That way there will be more details and high resolution, which is better for social networks. Length. I recommend setting 10 seconds. The number of variations is up to you. For the demonstration, I will generate one. We start. Processing is in progress. Done. The result is solid. The tool does its job. And remember, you don't have to limit yourself only to this type of generation. You can also shoot regular videos, but with this tool, you have practically unlimited freedom. Now let's move on to captions for Reels. Prepare the videos in advance in CapCut with music. Retention text should always be on the edge, but within Instagram's rules, because provocation increases retention, rewatches, reposts, and comments. For example, both of my parents just died. So you're home alone right now? This is playing on the edge, but without breaking the rules. Interactive content is already long captions, riddles like fill in the blanks, and so on. It is better not to reinvent the wheel, but to look at what already works in your niche and use that. Now let's look at a brief warm-up plan. On day 0 to 1, we go through email/phone verification for created accounts. Day 2, we clean up the bio, upload the profile photo, We subscribe to 10 to 15 accounts in the same niche, a few likes and comments. Day 3, the first story, selfie lifestyle, and the first feed post. Day 4, we start the follow routine. We follow 5 to 10 active male accounts. We look for them among those who like and comment in the niche. They are more engaged and will give reach. To each new follower, we send a welcome message in direct and start a dialogue. We publish 2 to 5 stories about food, lifestyle, and so on. Then we continue the follow-like routines, the second feed post, about 2 to 5 stories a day. On day 7, we make the third post and pin the first 3. Stories follow the same pattern. From day 8, we start posting reels, generated in Kling, about 3 reels a day. In stories, we add a call to action, CTA, to drive traffic, since there is still no link in the bio. It is better to avoid a direct OnlyFans link in stories. This often leads to a shadow ban. Use the link aggregator Get on My Link, preferably on your own domain, and not a naked link to the service. We continue to post 3 to 5 stories a day. The goal is at least 5,000 views per day, and a coefficient of 0.7 in the ratio of views to subscribers. For example, with 1,000 subscribers, at least 700 views per day. If you consistently get greater than or equal to 0.7, everything is fine. If it is lower, a shadow ban is likely. We move on to the 5th step, activation and growth. When you reach about 1,000 subscribers, put the Get on My Link link in the bio and duplicate it in stories. We continue the follow-unfollow routine of 5 to 25 accounts a day carefully. You can lightly boost the best reel with targeting, a maximum of $5 a day. This will bring in new subscribers leads, and the algorithm will pull up your other videos. The 6th step, scaling and automation. To move from 20 to 30 accounts and more, you can use either phones with a jailbreak or regular phones with 4G proxies, IP proxies. This is in cases where you are creating profiles and you do not have several separate phones. Nevertheless, I again recommend having 4 different iPhones because this is much less hassle and headache than with a jailbreak, which sometimes, for various reasons, just stops working. Your goal is to distribute your accounts across devices as much as possible. And of course, when you buy accounts, I will repeat once again, no proxies, just use a VPN directly. It works perfectly. On such an account, you set up an AI chatbot. Of course, not on the main account with unique creative. For this type of content, it is fine. We connect the bot only when the account has 2,000 subscribers. Now, as for step 7, we move on to premium content. It is better to launch premium content in parallel with the secondary Kling AI content. Kling gives stable traffic and serves as insurance, and premium attracts a higher quality audience. At the same time, a lot depends on the model. If she has weak technique, low motivation, or she does not want to shoot, premium will be difficult. If the model is hungry for results and likes such shoots, it makes sense to make 3 to 5 accounts for her with well-thought-out ideas and separate concepts. For example, score scratch for reaction videos. I posted a list of such concepts in my Telegram. The main goal is to automate the process of running Instagram as much as possible. And I will emphasize again, the more original accounts you have with truly original content, the warmer and higher quality the audience will be. People fall more in love with the model and are more willing to convert. Now we move on to step 8, monitoring and optimization. Here the goal is to track your KPIs. KPIs are all your numbers: views, reach, subscriber growth, clicks, conversion rate. Look at them in the Get on My Link dashboard and in Instagram Pro. By the way, switch Instagram to a business account so you can see the maximum number of metrics. Your task is to make decisions based on this data, to push the accounts with the highest number of impressions, and to replace the accounts that have gone into a shadow ban or give very low reach. In this model, we are betting on quantity, not quality, except for premium content. Everything generated is quantitative content. And right now, volume is exactly what works on Instagram. The more accounts you have, the higher the chance of breaking through the algorithm and catching viral growth. Before concluding, I will answer frequently asked questions. How do you avoid a shadow ban? Publish regularly. Limit the number of follows to 10 to 50 a day maximum and increase this limit gradually. Do not start right away with 10 a day. At first, do it little by little. In the same way, limit unfollows. If you use hashtags, vary them. Personally, I did not use hashtags and everything worked fine, but if you do use them, alternate them. What is the best balance between manually creating accounts and buying them? It all depends on the budget. I strongly recommend buying accounts in order to move faster, more reliably, and not work in vain. However, with the model I gave, creating them also works. It's just that the chance of a shadow ban will be much higher. Which proxy or VPN should you choose to manage many accounts? Of proxies, I recommend IP Royal. These are quality proxies, although quite mainstream. So from time to time, you will inevitably come across questionable IPs. For VPN, use TunnelBear with a monthly subscription so that you have as many gigabytes as you need and don't have to worry. How much time does it take per day without an assistant? About 3 hours for 10 accounts and 6 hours for 20. Therefore, I recommend switching to outsourcing fairly quickly. But if at first the budget does not allow it, do it yourself. And of course, join my Telegram channel. There I have posted prompts for Kling, ideas for captions for Reels, generated in Kling, and especially ideas for premium content, so that you have a truly unique main Insta account and secondary ones. There are also other nuggets there that I do not mention in this video. In any case, thank you for watching this video. Obviously, test everything right away. Act at full power as quickly as possible. That way you will get the first results. You will be able to test, make mistakes, and refine the process. Do not hesitate to like, share, and write comments if you have something to say. See you at the next training.